Hey cuties, PeachY here, welcome back to a new video, and in this video we have a bunch of Monster High news. We have a new Indonesian variant for Frankie this time. We have a TikTok video explaining all the differences. Then we have a behind the scenes look of Twyla's design evolution. And then we have more sneak peeks for this week's episode with Twyla and Draculaura's mom. So yes, we have a lot of tea to go over, so stay tuned and let's get into it. First up, let's get into the behind the scenes looks that at Rebecula13 shared on Instagram. The caption reads, "Thought I'd share some creepy cute G3 BTS for one of my fave Monster High ghouls, Twyla. First image is my concept sketch, just a couple minor changes from sketch to final product. Next is a small section of her early mood board. Love how her color combo is so soft and pretty, but the details are very creepy and cute. Then we have the Adorbs sculpt by Deshawn Almost from our at Mattel sculpting team. I requested, since her sculpt is somewhat normal, to add cute little spider webs in her ears. You know how critters crawl around all of us from time to time while we are asleep? Well, I think Twyla probably has some critters that take comfort in her ears. So sweet. That's more like creepy for me, but thank you for the nightmares there, Rebecula." Onto my overlay for her face deco and hair swatches. This time around, I added button-shaped highlights and changed her eye color to aqua so her eyes didn't get lost against her skin tone. And yes, of course, I kept those glowing eyes, my fave. Check out her test pic of the glow pigment on an early painted model. Then we got my sketch for her new shoes, complete with open windows, and on the shoes, I hid a little sculpt relief image of Twyla's shadow self and freaked out Dustin. Okay, it's a very cute little hidden detail. Next, we have my artwork for her intro to the Talismans book that we also saw in the music video. Then my talented work friend Lisa Carmarga's phone label for Twyla's eye coffin. Finally, we have the final doll image. Hope you love how she turned out as much as I do. Wishing you creepy dreams." So yeah, that was very interesting. The way she described it, the way the whole process kind of like felt, the design, the sketches, the mood board, and then the little cobwebs like in her ears. I did not know that was a thing. That's such a cute little that's such a cute little hidden detail that if she hadn't explained that, I wouldn't have noticed, and I don't think a lot of us would have noticed. But if you have a Twyla now G3 in hand, be sure to check it out. Her ears have little spiderweb details, so that's really cool. And then the face screening, the hair samples, the glow in the dark test screening, the shoes with the windows. That's what they are. I was always kind of like not sure what they were supposed to represent. And then on the bottom of the soles, on the bottom of the shoes, the soles have a little hidden picture with Twyla and Dustin. Which again, if you have Twyla, can you confirm that that is also on the bottom of her shoes? I really liked hearing what she had to say in the book. Intro to Talismans, is that going to play a big role in the animated series? I think yes. I mean, Talismans, obviously, like I explained in my Twyla music video, the whole plot, the center plot around season 1 is to get Claudine's mom back, and to do that they need to get all the talismans. So I have a feeling that Twyla is going to probably play a big role in this whole development. But yeah, really cute little behind the scenes look, and also of the eye coffin, the back of the phone case with Dustin, really cute. Next up, thanks to Jey Fontana, the showrunner for the animated series of Monster High, we have a little sneak peek that they posted on Instagram of the episode for this week. One of the stories for the episode is obviously all about Twyla, and here we can see the back of Twyla's hair. We've already seen clips of Twyla, like the front of her. We know she looks amazing. She has like purple eyes now for some reason. And here's just the back. But we get to see a better look at, the other girls, the other ghouls, creep over outfits. And they look amazing. So I cannot wait to see what the whole episode what the storyline is going to be for Twyla, and I hope they really do something with her character. Jey then also shared a teaser for the other half of the episode, which is all about Scaretich and exploring that Scaretich for Draculaura, and it seems that they're going to be introducing a little teaser for Draculaura's mom as well. Here in this picture, we can see Draculaura standing in front of like a table, maybe showing off her ancestors with the Dracula. We can see her dad on one side of her, and then behind her other arm on the other side we can see what kind of seems to be a vampire lady figure, but then of course the arm is hiding. It's obviously hiding the face of what seems to be Draculaura's mom. So that's going to be very cool to see how she's going to look like. We've gotten to see a lot of monster parents in G3, with Medusa. We've gone to see Twyla's dad, the boogeyman, and also Claudine's mom in pictures, and of course Claudine's dad. So very cool that we're going to get to see Draculaura's mom here as well. Oh yeah, and Claude is in the picture here, so here's to hoping that they have many cute moments in this episode. But moving on, we're going to talk about the new Frankie variant. That's the Indonesian variant. So we've had Indonesian variants for Claudine and Draculaura. I made videos on those as they came out a while ago, and now we have a variant for Frankie that actually came out like a couple days ago, like I want to say like last week. I didn't make a video about it then because there weren't many pictures, but now we have thanks to at Christopher Collects on TikTok and on Instagram, they shared pictures and videos on the China and the Indonesian variants of Frankie, and you can really tell there's actual differences here, and not just due to lighting or like wonky face. It's like actual differences. So I'm gonna play the TikTok here and let Christopher explain the details and differences himself.
I went and got Frankie's Indonesian variant, and I wanted to make a quick little comparison video for those who were curious because there are some interesting little differences. So the thing that makes Indonesian variants mostly different is their faces. Indonesian Frankie's eyes are much bigger, much more stylized. Their makeup is much more prominent too. Chinese Frankie's lips are much more of a coral pink, while Indonesian Frankie's are like a cool tone pink. The airbrushing for the blush is also done a little better in my opinion. When the Indonesian variants first started popping out, like Draculaura's, people were saying that her head sculpt was different. I didn't really see it, but with Frankie, I definitely see a different head sculpt. Like, you can definitely tell that these sculpts are not the same. At first I thought it was just the makeup placement, but you can definitely tell that this one's like just larger and longer. A part of me likes that, a part of me hates it because it kind of just makes them look even more bobbleheady. Another difference from Indonesian variants is that they're like slightly different skin colors. I don't know if you can tell on screen, but this Frankie's like a more brighter blue, and this Frankie is more like a gray blue. Indonesian variants are also made of a different material. I'm pretty sure they are. You can kind of tell better here, like their stitching also seems to be different, but you can tell the difference in skin tone and like material finish. Another difference is also the color of their accessories. They're slightly different colors like Draculaura's too. These ones are more like yellow, and the Indonesian ones are like slightly more green. Same with their barrettes, they're much like brighter. I honestly really can't tell anymore. At first I thought that their skirts fit different. I think I like the way that the Indonesian skirt fits better. I can't really tell, especially on the stance, but something that I can tell is that the Indonesian shirt and vest are even baggier than the Chinese ones. So if you're not a fan of that and you hate no-neck Frankie, then their shoes aren't off at all. Like, they're the same color. And I don't know if I'm making it up, but I think what they use for Indonesian Frankie's like metal accessories is like a slightly more metallic finish. These two are also slightly different. This is the Indonesian one and this is the Chinese one. This one's more like pink and this one's like a corally. And that's basically it. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Bye.
Thank you, Christopher. So definitely very interesting how the face actually changed a lot, and it seems to it seems to look more similar to the coffin bean, like the prototypes that we saw on the coffin bean packaging at first, and then also the prototypes that are on the stock photos that are hand painted prototypes. They seem to look more similar to those prototypes than they do to the Chinese ones. So the Chinese ones, they kind of tried to, it it's like both factories try to recreate that look from the prototypes with the hand-painted versions, but the Chinese factory samples ended up looking a little bit different, and the Indonesian ones are starting to look more similar to the actual prototypes, you know, that are on the stock photos again. So it's kind of funny how that's working out. Now we have seen variants for Draculaura, Claudine, and Frankie, but we haven't seen any for Laguna and Cleo, and people have been saying that maybe for Laguna's Indonesian variant, maybe her legs could be more translucent and see-through, since for the Chinese variant, Laguna's legs are pretty like foggy looking. They have a foggy finish. They're not very translucent like they're depicted on the coffin bean packaging. So if that is a significant difference, that is definitely gonna polarize people into which Laguna they prefer. So very interesting once again. I am gagged because honestly, Frankie looks really good, and like the skin tone even, like it is definitely different. Like it's a very subtle difference, but there's definitely a difference there. Like the Chinese Frankie has more of like a green, and then the Indonesian one is more of like a cool grayish blue. Like it's very interesting. It's like a brighter Chinese variant, and it's more like pale Indonesian variant. And a lot of people wanted Frankie to have a more pale, like kind of like green blue skin tone, and this kind of looks more like it. So yeah, overall I think I like both. I'm not sure which I would pick in store if I could choose. It really depends on like the Frankie themselves. Even with the variant, like it depends on like there's a lot of factors that go into face ups and like how they look. So it could change depending on what doll you get, obviously, even with what variant from what factory. But it's very fascinating seeing the differences that they made with different factories. Moving on, we have the next Mattel Creations Monster High listing dated, and it's dated for April 14th. So very soon. I mean, it's almost it is March. It's March 30th. Like it's, oh my god, it's almost over. Like the whole month just like kind of like flew by. It's crazy. And now April 14th, that's probably like in a second week, if not the third week. So that's good. That's very soon. Like which doll could it be? People have been saying it could be either Cleo or Spectra or Rochelle. You know, they did tease Rochelle, you know, a week ago. So it could be Rochelle. They could fully reveal her next week. And then April 14th, I guess, would be in 2-3 weeks. So that would make sense, I guess. Or it could be, again, Cleo or Spectra. And lastly, here we have what seems to be a leak found on at Train Draws Art story. I forget who actually sent me the link to the story initially, so I'm sorry, but thank you. And this seems to be, so Train Draws Art found this picture on Twitter, but they apparently don't have Twitter, so I'm kind of confused. You're kind of contradicting yourself. But is it a real leak? I don't think so. It looks fake. It could be real. It's that the theory is that it's Monster Ball Frankie, but the dress kind of just looks like the Haute Couture Frankie skirt, and then the shoes, that's like kind of like the dead giveaway. The shoes, if you look down at the heels, those are actually the leather heels on Frankie's Haute Couture boots, like, you know, gladiator over-knee heels. So those are the exact same shoe mold. So I'm pretty sure they're not going to reuse a Haute Couture G1 shoe mold for G3 for Frankie's, you know, Monster Ball outfit, because again, we don't even have a Frankenstein listing for Monster Ball. Like on the artwork, you know, Frankie's also not depicted, so it seems more like Frankie is just absent from this line, unfortunately. But this is a good mock-up of like what Frankie could have looked like in a prom scenario, but it is fake. Like it's fake. I think so. I mean, it just doesn't look real. I mean, the heels are a dead giveaway. But that was the video. I hope y'all enjoyed. Leave a like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you haven't already so you don't miss out when I post more content like this, coming your way daily and keeping you up to date with all the doll tea you love. Stay safe, be kind. I hope this next time. Stay peachy. Kisses.